I've reviewed the Toyota FRS many times before on the track and also on the street. Check those out elsewhere on YouTube. But behind me is the Toyota 86. The same car since Scion has been dissolved, but a different name for the American market, the 86, and also lots of upgrades. Will I be impressed? Let's find out. Well, you might not be able to tell the changes from the side. It still looks like a very sporty coupe, and of course it is, but the real changes are up front where it's been redesigned to make it more aerodynamic, and also LED lights are added too. And also in back you get LED backup lights, and the diffuser's been redesigned as well. Well, I think as the FRS it had a great shape, and it's even better here with the Toyota 86. Love the color too. The interior is simple and sporty, and of course that's geared to the nature of the 86. Lots of chrome accents all around the 86 here, sporty pedals, and just manual seats. But look at these bolsters. Man, do they hold you in when cornering. Very nice. The 86 is even woven into the dashboard there. Pretty cool. Kind of an Alcantara look. Carried over on the doors as well. Different materials and some nice stitching there as well. You get that stitching on the seats too, and pretty much all the way across. And the steering wheel, very nice. The 86 right in the middle there as well. It's a very sporty gauge cluster. Tachometer right in the middle with a digital readout to the speed, and of course speedometer on the left there, and just your fuel gauge and temperature gauge on the right there. To the left here you can change your display down below there. There's no real console storage, but you can remove this cup holder if you like. You also get a charger right here, a real handbrake, and 2 modes for traction control off. More on that later. And then of course 6-speed manual with reverse. You get a USB and aux in for your phone, more storage there, and nice cooling and heating right here, easy to control. The infotainment screen still feels a little aftermarket to me, but you do have nice controls and they're certainly intuitive, and that brings me to my Drivin technology integration score. And it's kind of simplistic, not too much technology to control, but still it's very good, and I'll give it a 9 out of 10. I like how easy it is to control these vents here, and on the door you have controls for your power windows and door locks, and also outside mirrors, and some storage down here too as well. And it's nice to have this glove box too for extra storage inside the cabin. Of course there's also a bit more storage in the back seats if you want to use them, or I guess kids might be comfortable and have a good time back here as well. Pop the trunk, and you can see that the trunk actually goes back pretty deep here, and it's a pretty usable trunk. Not super large, but certainly good for a weekend trip. My disc golf discs here. Check out my disc golf videos elsewhere on YouTube. So the 86's interior carries on very similarly to the FRS, and that means it's sporty and has just the right amount of tech too. Powering the Toyota 86 is a dual overhead cam 16-valve flat 4 boxer aluminum block and heads, port and direct fuel injection engine. It produces 205 horsepower at 7,000 RPMs and 156 pound-feet of torque at 6,400 RPMs. You get a larger torque band now. 0 to 60 takes 6.2 seconds onto a top speed of 134 miles an hour. A quarter mile, that takes 14.8 seconds at 95 miles per hour. Fuel economy is rated at 21 miles per gallon in the city, 28 on the highway, and you can expect 24 miles per gallon overall. Pricing for my Toyota 86 test car starts out at $26,255. You have the $1,100 Toyota Racing Development TRD exhaust system. You also have sway bars from TRD and lowering springs as well. And they are $550 and $639. The protection film is $395 and the all-weather floor mats are $90. So with all that, you're out the dealer door at $29,894, just a tick under $30K. And you can certainly have this one in the manual transmission as equipped. It's a bit more expensive with the automatic, but for 2017, they've actually made the manual transmission car a bit more appealing by beefing up the engine a bit. It's got 5 extra horsepower and also 5 more pound-feet of torque. And I think that's actually so that it is quicker than the automatic. The automatic transmission matches revs, and automatic transmissions these days work even better than any human can. So I think that's Toyota's way of emphasizing kind of the old school manual transmission way of doing things with this Toyota 86. Kia Toyota wanted to build an exciting car, and that's how the FRS, as it was called before Toyota got rid of the Scion, now it's the 86, which is what it's called all around the world. And it is absolutely a serious sports car for what is extremely fair money when you account for all of the performance. Kia Toyota wanted to build an exciting sports car that anybody could afford, and I think he definitely pulled it off with this Toyota 86. There is competition out here for the 86, like the Mazda Miata, but really this is a special car, maybe the Miata RF fixed roof version. But anyway, the Toyota 86 is really, really a great car. It's fun to drive, just like its twin, the BRZ from Subaru. Check out my review of that one as well, plus my reviews of the FRS a couple times before and even on the track as well. But anyway, this is a car that you can experience and have fun with on the street. You don't need to take this 86 to the track. You can get it loose, you can play with it. Toyota has done a magnificent job of setting this car up and making it fun to drive and handle amazingly well. It's so predictable. You can feel the wheels grab, or in the case, maybe lose a little grip when you're turning into a turn, getting ready to accelerate out through the apex. And it's really just a pinpoint accurate sports car, like maybe the Z car was back in the day, and certainly still is, but that one has a 6-cylinder engine and is more a car. This one, again, you can really toy around with this at speeds that are safe on the street. Of course, you should never mess around when you don't know what you're doing, and you should never cancel the traction control unless you really know what you're doing as well. That being said, Toyota's gone ahead and given you 2 ways to cancel the traction control. Just the normal way, which will keep some safety in, and then there's a track mode, which basically lets you drive the car the way it was meant to. And that way, if you mess up, well, you might spin, you might lose control a bit, but really that's what you want in a car like the Toyota 86. You can turn off the safety net, so to speak, so that's a good thing for a car like this that's designed to really, really have fun with. But beware, don't do it unless you really know what you're doing. The shifter is really nice. Short throws, and when you're out in the country and you see the open road in front of you, well, this car is where you want to be sitting. Just listen to it rev, it's just awesome. Brakes, very responsive as well. You always feel nimble, like you're dancing. The steering wheel is extremely tight, and you can feel the road. You can feel exactly what the car is doing at each end, and you feel like you can place it on a dime. It's just really, really, really good, and it sounds good too. That's what it sounds like when the rev limiter kicks in. This thing will rev all day, right around its red line at 7,500. It's doing its best to try to sound like a Ferrari. There's something about looking over the hood of certain cars. This one reminds you of maybe a 70s Corvette with those bulges over the fenders. Certainly something perhaps more exotic than this Toyota 86, but really their stylists got it right. I mean, this whole car, the shape and everything is just, I think, a work of art. Checking out the night look here on the 86. Lots of red, but actually I like the gauge cluster here and the infotainment screen, not bad. These are actually a bit orange, and your traction control cancels are also red, so it's a nice look overall, I think. You get reverse by pulling up on this, going over and up, and then when you do, of course, you get a backup monitor, which is nice. When I first saw this car from behind at a media event, it actually looked like the current lineup of Ferraris from the back. You can see the airflow working underneath, something you'd expect to see from a car like a Ferrari, not kind of an entry-level Toyota sports car. So they've really put in the research, and they're actively using the wind and anything they can to get the most out of this Toyota 86. And you can feel it when you drive it. The Toyota 86 is a driver's car, make no mistake about it. You want this car because it's fun to drive. You know, it's not a luxury car. It's definitely on the low end in terms of pricing. What you're paying for is this really great experience of driving, whether you want it with a manual transmission or automatic that's available. The automatic's about $500 more expensive. But, you know, you don't get things like a push-button start. I would like to see that, actually. And you don't get keyless entry, which Toyota is very, very good at doing. Toyota has some nice luxury features. You know, I would actually like a version of this car that has all of the latest safety features, adaptive cruise control, and certainly push-button start, keyless entry, and Sirius satellite radio as well. I think a little bit of luxury for a version of this car might actually sell pretty well. But then, of course, they get into their own way with their Lexus IS cars and other cars in the market for Toyota and Lexus. But that's basically, I think, why they keep some of the luxury down in this car. Don't get me wrong, the seats are very comfortable and snug. It holds you in very well, and you do have a nice infotainment screen, and it is, of course, tech savvy, like all the millennials will want it to be. You can certainly listen to your phone streaming and any apps that you like. Yes, no problem. It's got a jump drive USB as well, and I like to enter my tunes in that way. But it's certainly not a luxury car, and the finishes inside, you know, they're not meant to be. So it does what it does very, very well, and what it does is just give you a fabulous driving experience for what I think is an extremely fair price. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to follow me on Twitter and Instagram. Check out all of my other videos. Share them with your friends and family. Check out my Drivin' Ivan car videos, of course, my disc golf videos, music videos, documentaries, literal video for Chris Isaac's Wicked Game. I'm Drivin' Ivan.